Hello everybody, I am the Amateur Day Trader, and today I wanted to go a little more in depth about my stock selection process. We did another video about this earlier, and it was just a very quick overview of what I do in the mornings. But right now it is 9:13 a.m. Eastern, so the markets are about to open in 15 minutes, and I sort of wanted to show you kind of more what my process is. So you can see I have my stock scanners open on the window that you see in front of me right now. We do have our Gappers Up scanner sort of in the top left here, and we're going to go over the settings of those real quick just so you can see what I'm doing. The first thing that I'm configuring on the scanner, and all of these settings, just so I've said it, are basically to make sure that we have stocks in our potential list to look at that are within the range that we're comfortable trading, and as well as see some signals that there might be some movement throughout the day. So the first thing we're going to look is that our pre-market volume is over 100,000 shares. This just gives us an idea that, okay, there is activity in this stock. Things are moving a little bit. If there was no trading activity pre-market, then that's sort of a sign that we may not have something that's going to move throughout the day. Our price range here is set between $10 and $40 per share. This is the range that I'm comfortable with. I will go more into that in another video, but right now this is where I'm sort of comfortable trading. I have an average true range set to at least 75 cents. This is basically throughout the day how much you can expect a stock to go up or down. So it's about a 75-cent window. Anything less than this, I used to set it to 50 cents. That works well. What you don't want is a stock with an ATR of like 5 cents, 10 cents. There's just not enough movement there to create the potential profits that we need, right? You would have to be taking huge share sizes to kind of profit off of a very small ATR stock. And then we want to make sure that there's at least 20 million shares outstanding available to trade. If there's not a lot of shares, or if there's not an amount of shares available for trading, then they won't be traded, which also means there won't be any movement. And I have my change from close, so from close of the prior day, I want stocks that have gapped up at least 2%. So again, these are just settings that I have in order to narrow down the list a little bit, because there are hundreds of thousands of stocks out there, if not millions, and how do you pick what you want to pay attention to? So based on those settings, you can see that my Gappers Up scanner right now has two stocks that fit those criteria, AAOI and QUBT. So the next thing I'm going to do is open my simulator, and I have two charts here, a 5-minute and a 1-minute chart, and I'm just going to put real quick those symbols on both of those charts. So we'll start with AAOI. And what I'm looking for here is just kind of some smooth movement pre-market. If I see things that jump from here to here with basically these little dashes, we'll get into that later, but if you just see like really choppy things going around, that's something I tend to stay away from. It's unpredictable. Chances are I'm going to lose money on the trade. It's just not a good sign for how I select things to look at in the morning. So AAOI doesn't have anything too outstanding one way or another. I know there's no like clear runaway signs here. We'll go a little more into that, but this is just something that I do just to take a quick look at the charts. The other one we're going to look at is QUBT. Now you can see this is interesting. There's probably something going on that we will see in our next sort of step of what I'm about to do. QUBT has already traded 3.76 million shares today, and this is before the market even opens. So there's something interesting there. So we'll do QUBT. Again, this is our 1-minute chart, and this is our 5-minute chart. So this is closer to what I like to see compared to our last chart. You can see there's a lot more like fluidity, so to speak, in the movement. Our last chart of AAOI had some of that choppiness. It wasn't terrible, but it's I like the QUBT charts better. I'm still going to keep an eye on both of these. It's just what I look for when I'm sort of just doing my morning pre-market open just checks, right? This isn't ruling my entire day. It's just what am I going to keep an eye on at the market open. So the next thing I'm going to do is take those two stock candidates that I have, AAOI and QUBT. I'm going to open another window here, and I'm going to do AAOI Investor Relations. And we're going to go to AAOI's Investor Relations page. When you search for your ticker, your stock ticker, and investor relations, usually the first search result that you get is going to be what you are looking for. So I'm going to scroll down on this investor relations page, recent releases, so we can see June 11th, which was yesterday, there was some news that happened. So it says announces first volume shipment of data center transceivers to recently engaged major hyperscale customer. So I have no idea what that means, but something did happen yesterday that is of interest, enough so that AAOI put out a press release about it. And so this means there might be some interest in the stock, right? So this was probably more relevant yesterday, obviously, since this is the press release from yesterday, but that momentum may carry into today. So just know that recent news from a company is potential good news that a stock is going to be moving. This does not say, this is no indication as whether a stock may move up or down. That remains to be seen. That's something you're going to have to watch at the open. But we know that since there was news, since there's a lot of trading going on, that this stock may have movement. And movement is where we make money. That's why I keep focusing on that. I'm going to open another window here, and we're going to do the same thing with QUBT. So we'll go to QUBT, Investor Relations page. Let's see, shareholder update call that was on May 15th. I don't really like this page very much. So press releases, let's see, May 29th. So nothing exciting there. So I can't really tell from their investor relations page why there might be a lot of movement. I don't see anything that's really, let's see, was there an event that happened? June 9th through June 11th. Okay, so they did have they were at a conference that they were participating in Austin, Texas. I don't know. I don't see anything too obvious here, but that is our stock so QUBT is our stock that had traded 3.85 million shares already pre-market open. And just for fun, this wasn't something we saw originally, but QXO popped up on our pre-market scanner. So one of these criteria, or all of these criteria have been hit. So another stock got added to the scanner. So let's look at QXO. QXO Investor Relations. So let's take a look here. Cool. Let's see what else. Let's go to news. News, May 27th. Okay, so nothing recent here either. So that is essentially my morning routine. What I will do is I will keep an eye on really probably just these first two stocks that we talked about, AAOI and QUBT. I'm going to keep a look at them for the first 5 minutes to hour of the market and just kind of see what happens, what kind of movement develops, and hopefully have a setup for a decent trade and make a little money. Again, I am the Amateur Day Trader, and thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.